Hello everyone. Welcome to another segment of Let's Talk About It at Willard Library. My name is Miss Stephanie. I am the Social Services Information and Youth Librarian. And what we do is every first Thursday of the month, we invite different organizations that offer resources and information to help our community. So we are so excited about this segment. I'm going to title it March and Mindfulness. And so on today I have two very special people who I am excited to let you know that if you have teens from grades 5th through 12th grade, they will be actually coming to our teen room, which is located in our lower level at the downtown Willard Library, and they will be there from 3 to 5. And I'm not going to give you exact dates because I know I will not get it right, but go to our website and look at our brochure that will be coming out soon for March, April, and May. And so they are here today, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves and help us talk about mindfulness in March. So who do we have here?
My name is Kelly Climey, and I am a therapist and yoga instructor at Karma House.
My name is Chiezan, and I am a yoga instructor, meditation instructor, and Buddhist monk at Karma House.
Okay, so can you tell us what is mindfulness and why is it important to you?
I think there's a lot of definitions of mindfulness that are out there. The first definition that really helped me and that I still sometimes return to is paying attention without judgment. Because I noticed that I tried to pay attention a lot or tried to be aware of things a lot, but I also had a lot of judgment about myself or about other things. So paying attention without judgment is kind of the simple go-to that I tend to go back to. I know what Chiezan would say though.
I think it's bringing our attention, our awareness into the senses, which we so often ignore. Sometimes the inertia of our mind and our thoughts is so overwhelming we lose touch of our bodies. And I think it's important to remember that it's not being aware of our bodies at the expense of our thoughts. Our thoughts are something we need to give our attention to, but sometimes to ground ourselves back in our bodies, back in our senses, really allows us to function in a way that maybe has a little more room to breathe.
And so we are inviting you to come and kind of talk with the youth about the importance of mindfulness. And I know from your background and your career experience, you've had a lot of experience dealing with youth that have experienced trauma. And so why do you think it's important for you to be at the library and helping some of our youth?
Well, I'm excited to be at the library because I love that in Battle Creek, I moved to Battle Creek in the last year, and I love that the library is the center of the downtown and the community. If only every community, the library was the center, so that's something that when I was looking at community organizations and the schools, I was really struck by the fact that not only is the library the center of the community, but that you have an after-school teen time, specifically for 5th grade on up. I worked in after-school programs all through college and with a TRIO Upward Bound program with high school students, and in my experience, loved the younger children, but there were more after-school programs for younger students, and there was a lot less variety for teens. So that was something that I thought was really important for us to connect with. And we're directly across the street from both WK and Battle Creek Central High School, and working with the teenagers. There's a few teenagers I've gotten to know from the schools over at Karma House, and so just hopeful that this would be a good fit. Seemed like the right place for us to be.
So let's talk about some strategies that you might be showing our young people when you come. Some mindfulness strategies or other things that you might think would be important to help them.
I think we're endeavoring to incorporate a lot of different modalities, and I just want to say that I feel It is harder to be a teenager now than ever. It's certainly harder than when I was a teenager myself. And a lot of times those voices aren't being heard, and they aren't being appreciated or validated for the intensity of what they're having to work with on a day-to-day basis. So I know that between Kelly and myself, we're hoping to incorporate aspects of formal mindfulness, getting in touch with the breath, getting in touch with the senses, and some movement as well. Kelly, you could say something about movement and its importance, and how it is not a performance. It's not like we're going to teach you a special way to move. It's actually learning to move within your own body and appreciating how your body functions.
Yeah. I think that, in terms of trauma is extreme overwhelm of the system. It's extreme overwhelm of the brain. It's extreme overwhelm of the body and the nervous system. The mind and the body are not separated, although they can absolutely feel separated, and parts of our memory networks can go offline or shut down when we have extreme flooding of the system. And that can make us kind of go in extremes. We either don't want to feel our body at all, or we feel it so intensely that we feel that we have to feel it intensely all the time to feel anything. And I think what's helpful about mindfulness, intentional movement, whether it's yoga movements or whether it's any type of movement with intention, is that it helps us start to relearn safely what that space is in between shutting down and numbing out and that extreme intensity. So it gives us a way to practice and engage with what's in between. And we can do that through breath, through, again, intentional movement or yoga. We can do that through mindful journaling, through art, get a little crafty, through discussion with one another. So that's what I'm hoping, is that we can use this time to offer some options, and that the youth participants will show us what they're interested in, and we can work together to hopefully build a program.
I like that, and I'm excited, and this is great for all ages, and really during this time, like you said, it's a tough time for teens. Some of them are just coming through, the quarantine, the whole COVID thing, and they're having a hard time managing their stress in a healthy way. And by me being one of the staff down there, we've seen so many different things, and so this helps us, or gives us another tool or a resource to try to help our teens have a safe space and give them a strategy to manage their stress in a healthy way. So we look forward to having you all here. And as we go into my next question, what are some resources and books that you would recommend for our listeners, whether they're a teen, whether they're a toddler, parents, grief, or whatever?
Well, these are just some examples of things that I recommend to people that I work with. This came out in the last year, Sloth and Smell the Roses, and this has been a really fun basic mindfulness book. Parents have really liked it too, because these are reminders that we all need. Right. And it's simple, it's colorful. I also appreciate that about mindfulness, is that there's not really anything that we're offering to little people or teens or adults that is different. It's just kind of can be offered in different ways. Right. So I think this is a really fun book to work with children and for parents to read. You may have seen these little tiny books. There's a big series on, there's how to relax, how to sit, how to eat. This is a really small pocket version of just kind of one-page reminders and practices. So that's one option. This gratitude journal is from Kayla Morgan, who we did our trauma-informed yoga teacher training together, and she runs Resilient Roots in Grand Rapids. She is a really, really incredible teacher and community advocate, and this is actually something that's on Amazon, and she has some other offerings too, but I've used this in groups with survivors of domestic violence, with dating violence. She came into the YWCA where I previously worked, and we offered a yoga program together. So I always really appreciate Kayla. The Self-Compassion Skills Workbook is a really good guided workbook for just kind of a basic starting point. So yeah, this is something that I tend to recommend to people to consider. And this is Diane Bondi, who is one of my yoga teachers, and she actually lives in the Detroit area, and she offers a lot of different workshops and programs. She offers trainings. She has a really incredible YouTube channel with practices between 2 minutes, 6 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour long. And she's a really big advocate of accessible yoga, so meaning that all bodies can participate in movement. We may use walls or chairs, different types of props, and so Yoga Where You Are is a book that came out in the last couple of years, and see, she's great. But there's lots of different types of bodies that are featured in the pages, and it breaks the programs down. So I just really appreciate Diane Bondi, and it's nice that you can access her on YouTube and just kind of see for yourself.
Good. Did you have a few that you wanted to share?
You know, Kelly is a wealth of knowledge in books, and so my pitch is going to be, come see us, and see that the knowledge goes so much deeper when you can actually take these tools and have them tailored to your personal situation. I think that's what's so important. Is it's not a blanket yoga, mindfulness. It can't be spread over everybody, but to meet with somebody like Kelly or myself, and we can talk to you about how to incorporate those in a way that work for your lifestyle would be a really good way to approach it.
And can you give our listeners information on how to contact you and where you're located?
Will you give our email address for Karma House?
Yes, our email address is karmahousebc@gmail.com. We are currently in the throes of recreating our social media, and we're really excited that in the next few months we'll be launching more information and more practices for the community right here on 72 North, across from Willard Library.
The old Meyer Toy World, which everyone in Battle Creek knows about.
Yes.
So we are turning that into a wellness center to incorporate a lot of different practices, free and low-cost programming for the community. We really want to be here with Battle Creek and serve our neighbors right here in the North Side neighborhood and beyond.
Love it. And also, check our website. We have been, up until March, we have been offering yoga classes and story times for our young people and for third age. So check our website to see if and when we will be continuing the yoga. It's been very helpful, been very heavily attended, and so check our website for information about that. The resources that Kelly shared with you, we might not necessarily have them on our shelf, but we will create a list to see if they are available on Amazon, just so that you can purchase them at your convenience. What we do have is a couple of books that I'd like to recommend. It's Yoga for Grief Relief, Simple Practices for Transforming Your Grieving Mind and Body, and that is by Antonio Sauces. Hopefully I said that right, but at least you know the title. And then we also have Happiness the Mindful Way, a Practical Guide, consultant Kevin Verney. And so these are different resources we have. Again, we are happy to have my friends here who will be working with the teens, showing them some successful strategies to help them manage their stress. And if you have any questions, or if there was something about this interview that you missed or you didn't understand, please contact me, Miss Stephanie, at 269-968-8255. 8166 extension 501, or you may email me at sboyd@willardlibrary.org. Thank you for listening, and have a mindfulness march.